Dang, dang, hang God, dang yo. Oh, what a dang, dang. Well, my name Blakk Rasta, and this is the Black Pot, aka Kukushu, where we speak truth to power. And remember, this one is brought to you by the kind courtesy of Magbansi. And Magbansi is that indigenous ancient African fragrance and space scenting company born right here in Ghana. Now, Magbansi is seeking to retell the African story using perfumes. Have you heard about the Spirit of Timbuktu line of perfumes? It has 4 different perfumes in Deura Jakpa, Nefertiti, Dinga Sise, Citrus on Blast. Now these are all the wonderful names of great African warriors and very, very wonderful, powerful people of ancient times right here in Africa. Now when you wear these perfumes, you stand uniquely. No two ways about that. Now this perfume takes about 72 hours on you. No matter how much you wash your clothes, the perfume will continue to be on you. This is Magbansi. Now you can find Magbansi right there inside North Legon, Wisconsin Road, inside the Cheesy Pizza building. And inside East Legon, you go to Adringano just after Kahaya. You find them. Please call them on 0242 250-574. That is 0242 250-574. Proud sponsor of the Black Pot, aka Kukushu, where we speak truth to power. My brother, my sister. Now today we have a number of things to look at right here in the Black Pot, aka Kukushu. Remember, here we don't criticize. We only criticize to build and not to destroy. That's if we must criticize at all. Remember, we are in the service of God and country. We are seeking to rewire the mindset of our own people. Uplift the African and put the African on a pedestal of true independence. What is independence without economic independence? This is the Black Pot, aka Kukushodomo. And from the news reel, we keep it real. Yes. Now the very first story we are looking at today has something to do with the Easter, and it says, I'm reading this from My Joy Online, and this was published today, the 7th day of April 2023, and it was published at 9:10 this morning on My Joy Online. It says, emulate the sacrifice of Jesus Christ to humanity. Baumia urges Christians on Easter. And I read, Vice President Dr. Mahmoud Baumia has expressed his well wishes to Christians in the country and around the globe as they celebrate the Easter festivity. He made this known in his tweet on Friday, April 7, as Christians commemorate the crucifixion of Jesus Christ and his death at Calvary. Good Friday is a day Christians around the world remember when Jesus willingly suffered and died by crucifixion as the ultimate sacrifice for sin. It is also observed to celebrate the day Jesus Christ was raised from the dead, heralding the victory over sin and death and pointing ahead to a future resurrection for all who are united to him by faith. Now to this end, Dr. Baumia's entreated all Christians to imitate the sacrifice Jesus Christ made to humanity. I wish Christians in Ghana and around the world a happy Easter, he tweeted. He believed that if Christians are able to emulate the steps of Jesus Christ, there would be a cordial coexistence on earth. Now the Vice President, Dr. Mahmoud Baumia, says that if Ghanaians emulate the example of Jesus Christ, there will be peace on earth. Now today is supposed to be Good Friday. What example of Jesus Christ is Mahmoud Baumia talking about? His Excellency the Vice President. Now he sacrificed himself. He willingly decided that he will take over the death sentence from the heads of everybody unto himself. And even at the time of being taken to Calvary, Golgotha, for his death, he said, Father, if you may, and if it is your will, let this cup pass over my head. If Jesus Christ had his own way, in fact, he would have stepped aside. But because of his burning desire to see the world saved, he sacrificed himself and sacrificed everything that would have been sweet in his mouth and rather swallowed the bitter pills. This is what Dr. Baumia is telling Christians. It's the same message I would like to give to Dr. Baumia and his dirty government in power. This is a government that does not even believe in Jesus Christ. Because if you truly believe in Jesus Christ, you would emulate him the way Dr. Baumia is telling Christians in Ghana and around the globe to emulate Christ. Christ was a sacrificial lamb. He was a man who laid down his life so other people could live. Is this the attitude of politicians in Ghana? No, they are greedy. They are a hotbed of greed. In fact, they are a certain kind of submarine movement that is worse than an occult. My brother, my sister, Dr. Baumia says Christians should emulate the example of Jesus Christ this Easter so that the world will be a better place. This is the same message I am giving to the dirty government in power and to all the leaders in Africa. If we were even able to emulate Christ 1%, no guns will be blazing anywhere on earth. If we could emulate Jesus, Yeshua HaMashiach, Yesu Christo, and Nabi Isa, by just 1%, the whole world will be a strong paradise. The paradise that the Jehovah's Witnesses are looking for on earth. The paradise that everybody wants to go to. These are dirty politicians who are advising us to emulate Christ. They preach virtues and practice vices. This is a government that is importing the newest V8s into town. Yet it is an economy that is so hemorrhaged. We are running after the World Bank and the IMF, asking for a loan of $3 billion American dollars. We could have raised all this money internally. But no Ghanaian is ready to give his money to a government that cannot keep its promise. A government that will take the hard-earned money of pensioners and drive them to a level where they have to get up from their sick beds and walk all the way to the ministries in the hot, blazing, tropical sun, asking for what is rightfully theirs. And yet this dirty government will sit back and behave as if they have not heard a single word. You have run down the economy. The economy is nothing good to write about. This economy is a demonic economy. It's a begging economy where the president is running left, right, and center, begging, my brother, my sister. And when he's able to get loans, he comes home to celebrate that with kenke parties. Is this one too a leader? Dr. Baumia, you have spoken the virtues, but you are embroiled in vices. It's a government no sane person would ever respect. It's only bootlickers who eulogize this party. Better still, it is only bootleggers who idolize this party. After the atrocities we have seen from the loins of this terrible party, not even Good Friday will save you. In fact, from the people's anger, from the people's angst. Today, Dr. Baumia tells us to celebrate by emulating Jesus Christ. Yet these are people whose eyes are only fixated on power. It doesn't matter what they will do to get power, they will do it. Look at the crisis in Boku. Young men and women who are brothers from the same great-grandfather are shooting and killing each other. They see each other as enemies. I've not seen anything like this happen from the days of Cain and Abel. Brothers and sisters from the same historical background. They speak almost the same language, but they are shooting and killing each other. And the government sits back and watches over these people whilst people are being shot and killed. The government is only fixated And who grabs the power? They are busily breaking the 8, whilst the people of Boku are busily breaking each other's necks. I am so ashamed of this government. I'm so ashamed of this vice president. Extra ashamed of this dirty president. Dirty-minded president who has no common sense or patriotism. My brother, my sister, look who is telling us to emulate Jesus Christ. Do you know the number of cars he has? Does he sacrifice at all? To God be the glory. Next thing I am looking at is coming from my own news. In fact, 3news.com. It is the most authentic source of news online. And it says, it's my prayer that Ghana finds favor in the eyes of the Lord. Dufour's Easter message. And I read, 2024 flag bearer hopeful for the National Democratic Congress, NDC, Dr. Kwabena Dufour, is calling on Ghanaians to remember the message of forgiveness and reconciliation as portrayed by Jesus Christ in laying his life down for mankind. The former central bank governor insisted that this is the core of the Christian faith. Dr. Dufour stated this in his Easter message to Ghanaians on Friday, April 7th. This is another Easter message, and it's coming from Dr. Kwabena Dufour, a former central bank governor who is so broke that he cannot pay his workers for 17 solid months. Workers at EIB have not been paid. And he's busily walking around doing a kind of funny, shameless, political gimmick called a Hunter project. My brother, my sister, Kwabena Dufour had his own bank closed down. He couldn't manage it. A former central bank governor. At the time, the destiny of all the banks in this nation laid in his hands. Today, his own bank has been closed down. His workers at the Excellence in Broadcasting, EIB Media, have gone 17 months without salaries. And some of them are still hanging in there. A lot of them have left. In fact, yet he has enough money to go around on a campaign trail because he wants to be a flag bearer of his party. He goes around donating toy laptops, and iPads, and so on and so forth to people in the grassroots. All because he's looking for political favor. People like this, my brother, my sister, they are cowards who cannot be responsible for their own failures. My brother, my sister, this is a man, my brother, my sister, who is telling us this Easter that he's praying for the favor of God to come on Ghana. These are the people who behave like this dirty, political-minded president, Nana Akufo-Addo. When they fail, they blame it on God. They want to build a cathedral where everybody will run in there so they can run away from their own failures and inefficacies. I don't know how many people understand this. Now they make you feel like it is God who is running the country. So when the country fails, it's God who has failed. When the country fails, it means that we all have to run back to God and beg God to put the country back on a solid pedestal. Oh, what a shame. My brother, my sister, former governor of the Central Bank of Ghana. He had his own bank. He had media houses. My brother, my sister, his bank was closed down by this government in power for being inefficient. He hasn't paid his workers 17 months and over. Yet he has enough money to go around and give peanuts to people for political favor. A man like this is a toy in my eyes. Number two, He is praying that the favor of God comes on Ghana. The same way Nana Akufo-Addo started by telling us the battle is the Lord's. And today he's taking all of us to the slaughterhouse. He wants to build a certain dirty, demonic cathedral so that he and his family will run into it like Noah's Ark. When the people finally get angry and are going for his head. No wonder the design of the cathedral is in the form of Noah's Ark. My brother, my sister, enough of these dirty politicians. Why is it that at Easter, you are rather not speaking to the people to change their behavior, to change their stealing nature? Start by telling your own dirty government to stop stealing from the people. Start by telling your dirty government to stop paying lip service to the people of this country. This is what we want to hear at Easter, not God's favor. God has already favored this nation. God has already blessed this country, or else terrorists would have made this place a field walk. Yet, all the terrorism we are hearing around neighboring countries. Look at all our neighbors, they have tested some terrorism, yet we haven't. It's all because of the favor and the glory of God on us. Don't let God feel like a certain caricature. Don't let God feel like a certain puppet on a string. He has given us common sense to be able to live in peace and harmony. He's given us common sense to be able to rule with wisdom. Yet we throw all the wisdom away and we run around still asking God and pulling him back into action when he even wants to take a rest on the seventh day. Why? Don't listen to these dirty politicians. They are nothing but liars and cheats. Next thing I want to look at is on the football stage. Handle the day I use captaincy transition with care than Kweku Yabua wants. And I'm reading this from Peace FM online. Listen, we live in a country where our heroes are never, ever respected and appreciated. We all saw how Robert Mensah ended in a beer bar. We all saw how his grave we cannot even trace anymore. At one time, head of the whole Ghanaian football on the playing field. There was a time the stadium will be empty if Robert Mensah was not in the post. There was a time when Robert Mensah was the eye of Ghanaian football. There was a time when Robert Mensah was the talk of football in the whole of Africa. Today his grave has been erased and a building has been put in there. There's not a single statue to celebrate him. His children have become drunkards, walking around. One of them just committed suicide the other day out of frustration. My brother, my sister, that is the reward for our heroes in this country. Look how Hilary Liman died. At one time president of this nation. He ended up drinking himself to stupor. My brother, my sister, when we look at how some of our wonderful leaders in this country end up, nobody seems to be ready to die for this country. Now let's get back to football. Now Dede Ayew is one guy who is so loyal and patriotic to Ghanaian football, just like his father Abedi Pele. Look at how Abedi Pele broke down in tears anytime Ghana fell down and broke into pieces on the football pitch. Look how patriotic Abedi Pele was. He would leave everything he was doing, fly down from any part of the world and come and represent Ghana, including in local matches, and would leave international matches that will fetch him several bucks to come and represent Ghana. We all remember his feud with Tony Yeboah, and how nobody could take away from Abedi Pele his level of loyalty and patriotism. That is the middle name of the Ayus. We all saw how the day Ayu broke his head whilst trying to score a goal for Ghana. Many were those who said, oh, he should just sit down and be replaced. But no, he asked for a bandage for his head. And after that, he jumped onto the pitch again, doing all he could to score. Maybe this time breaking an arm and a leg. We cannot take loyalty and patriotism from Dede Ayew. Granted. Let's even say, oh, he's played all his football. Because Ghanaians are so good at retiring great minds and great talents. Ghanaians are a group of people who seem to be cursed. Hey, we would have the most talented person. In no time, we are fed up with this person, and we are ready to replace him with a talentless asshole. That is how we are. And it's in every facet of the Ghanaian economy and life. From music, all the way down to sports, all the way down to everything you can think about. We are in a hurry to replace great minds and great talents with mediocrity and foolishness. It hurts me. That is why in this country we cannot point at legends. Legends have all become drunkards. People who were supposed to be legends have been frustrated because they were nipped in the bud of their success. My brother, my sister, they have not been given the chance to rise all the way to the top of their destinies. We cut them short. We frustrate them. Some of them die early deaths. A lot of them visit early graves. And the rest of them walk about drunk to stupor. Is this how we want to raise our nation? Why are we so much in a hurry? At 35, they are already calling you old man. You cannot do music in Ghana if you are past 30 years. Soon they will keep calling you an old man, and that you must give way to the younger ones to come up. The sky is so big for every bird to fly in peace and harmony. Yet in Ghana, the sky is so small that even the few birds that we have in the sky are colliding and breaking their necks whilst flying. What kind of a nation is this? The same people who would say that you are old, go and sit down. They are ready to pay to watch Jay-Z, who is their father's age mate. They are ready to pay and watch Michael Jackson come here and play. They are ready to pay an arm and a leg to see Burning Spear play. Yet Burning Spear is their grandfather's age. What kind of a people are we? That's why people like Ebo Taylor no longer play in this nation. They are out there, Abroche, playing big concerts and making money. People like Ayisoba no longer get call-ups in this country. They have been relegated to the old league. It's a stupid country. That's what is happening to Ayew. I hear they want to remove him by hook or crook because he didn't actually endorse Chris Hilton. He wanted Kwesi Appiah to come in. And somebody from the GFA hinted Chris Hilton. And for that matter, Chris Hilton is angry. If you don't support me, it means that you are not going to support me to rise to the top. You see? So they have started sidelining him. If these rumors are anything to go by, then this is a childish-minded coach that we have. It is a coach whose common sense is down, 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 down below the ladder. To God be the glory. Well, my name is Blakk Rasta, and I leave it here. Gordon Asidiba is in the house. Gordon, how are you doing, man? I'm good.